various locations, so you can, if you run out, you can go back and get some more without having to make it. I got this stuff here. This is a Woodland Savings product. This is bushes. They're basically clump foliage. I'll show you that, and I'll show you the clump foliage in a second. But it's in small little bits. You will naturally create this size just simply by working with your clump foliage, because the second you put your hands in, you break up the clumps, you're going to start to get really, really small stuff. This stuff here is no good, in my opinion, for putting on trees. It's too small, the contact area is too soft, and you don't get enough. This also has little flecks of flocking in it. You can't really see it there, but it just creates a different color on it. So what I did is I went with this. I don't use this color here in particular. It's really dark color for anything. I don't use it for trees. I don't use it for bushes typically. So what I thought about doing is using this forest blend, is what it's called, and use this for my other areas. So if I want to do some work below the trees, instead of using a light green clump foliage or medium green clump foliage in the tree, I could then and then use it on the ground as bushes. I would use a darker color for the bushes just to create that variation and look of sort of more natural look, I guess. What else did I get? 2 of these shakers. This is my medium ballast. This is what I use typically for my roads. There you go. This is brown. I got 2 shakers of that. I also picked up the coarse. I didn't put this in a shaker. I got 2 shakers of this because I'm going to actually take one out and put the coarse in the other. This is the exact same stuff as this. It's just a coarse grain versus fine. So I got 2 packs of coarse. And then I got, medium, that's medium, coarse, and then I got a dark brown in the fine. And then this I use as a topper as well. I just sprinkle this in small areas. Why I use the 3 different grain sizes is because I put down, typically when I put it down, I actually mix the coarse and the medium together for the initial layer, and I undercoat the base in brown. When I put the medium and the coarse down, you can still see the brown underneath. But what I do is, after my initial glue layer, I come back in and do a really watered down glue layer. And again, if you use watered down glue on MDF and you don't paint it, it seeps into the wood. So if you paint it, it kind of stays on the surface. Use a watered down look over the top, and then use the fine ballast come in, and then that does fill in your holes. And then any holes that remain after that are so minuscule you never see them unless you may be looking directly over and looking for holes. So, and the other thing too is that nice light glue layer. It almost serves as a top coat, as a protective layer, and then it seals in the rock. So you put the main glue from the bottom up, and then you do the fine ballast and glue from the top down. So it creates that nice shell effect and keeps it nice and stiff. So that's that. What else I got? I have a pack of burnt grass. This is a Woodland Savings product. This is a really yellowish type grass. This will be again for shading. I also picked up some green grass, another little package. This is actually the same stuff that's in that flocking bin. This is just a little bit more in case I needed some. I picked fences. I'll show you these. These are made by Knock. I picked field fence, 2 packs. I like this one because it's got the dual rail, and it actually comes with 2 gates. Make sure, yeah, 2 gates. So I picked up 2 packs of that, so I have 4 gates. And I picked up this stuff here. I don't normally use this stuff here, but I went with it because I was going to do a little more field look around the cow pasture and whatnot. So here's the 3 rail, and that also comes with, actually that one, the reason I like this one, actually, I thought those were short pieces. This one comes with 4 gates. 2 packs of that, so that's 8 gates. I think the customer really was concerned about the bocage having access to and fro, cutting off, because of course bocage in the game prevents everything except for fully tracked infantry. So if you put the gates in here and there, that allows an access point at least for wheeled or half-track vehicles. So And then around the houses, I'm going to use this stuff here. This is the picket. Usually I use the dilapidated picket, but this time I used this just the intact picket fence. And you get 2 gates with this one. Although with the picket fence, it's very easy to create your own gates. You just use the shorter pieces here and just cut them off. So that's basically what I'll do with that. So just one of those. What else? It's a long video. I apologize. It's gonna have to be 2. Here, this is the knock hedgerows. They're 2 sections and they're snaky. They actually have it's not really a wire. It's more of a plastic, a bendable plastic on the inside. And once you kink the hedge, it actually does stay in the formation. So you got to be careful when you're cutting these, because if you snip them with the scissors, it actually pinches together the ends. So what you want to do is make sure of your cuts for one thing, and do it with a very, very sharp blades to prevent from crushing the hedge. You want to really get through it quick, so you don't create that pinch look on the end. So they're a bit green, and some people complain, but use these around a house where somebody would probably be maintaining a hedge and probably fertilizing or at least cultivating it. So it's going to look a little more natural, or sorry, a little more artificial and not look unkept, I guess, is what I'm going for. So if you use them in the right places, I think they're good, and they look great against the fence. Actually, one side fence, one side hedgerow. So that's what they look like there. I don't have a model here, but I will show you in another video what they look like. To answer the second part of that question, the same customer who emailed me about the pond also asked about sealing, and he said 99% of the flock stays down with the techniques that I was saying. He's just wondering about that the little bit of flock that does come off. I'm going to tell you it's almost impossible to eliminate a board that the flock comes off of if you use my techniques. Now, is that bad? Probably not. Is it okay to have a little bit come off? Yep, sure. In order to build up depth, what you're doing is you're ultimately reducing the contact layers and the surface contact with the static grass. Static grass is going to stick much better to a piece of MDF than it is going to another piece of flocking. So as you build up layers of depth, you lose surface area of contact. Now, can you seal it? Sure. I use a couple different methods. I use a spray that I pick up. I forget what company that makes it. I actually pick it up at Walmart or fabric stores. And I use a matte sealer. But what I've been getting into using as of late, and this is what I actually used to put it down initially, is this stuff here. It's a matte medium. It's also made by Scenic Express, right at the bottom. And it's not very much. It's only like $10 a bottle. This is a concentrate though, so you dilute. I think what is it, 6 to 1 or 4 to 1? Yeah, 4 to 1. So this is a liter. Make sure I say this stuff and then I second guess myself. I believe it's not quite a liter. 16 ounces. Sorry, half a liter. What you do is you just dilute it 4 to 1. I don't use it quite that weak. I like it a little stronger. For the spray, the top spray, yeah, 4 to 1. But for your base work, I go almost a 1 to 1 or a 2 to 1 in most cases. And I even put in a little bit of weld bond in there just to create a little more viscous product, because I don't. When you start getting into tight areas where you don't have a lot of room for the glue to spread, and you don't want the glue to spread, you want to go a little more viscous. So use it a little thicker if you can afford to. If you really need to make this go far, then it recommends right on the product 4 to 1 is fine. So this is the stuff I use. So I mix this up, and this works as a base glue. It works as a top coat. You can seal your bocages with this. That's where you want to go 4 to 1, and then just dribble it over the bocage. It will really stiffen up that clump foliage, and it's good to go. So that's the product there. It's called Matte Medium Transparent Scenery Cement. There's no discoloration with this. People say that hairspray or things like that may discolor your product. There's no discoloration with this. So if you're really looking for something safe, just pick some of that up. What else did I pick up? Some plaster cloth here. This is if I was going to do some contours. I'm not 100% Scenic Express product here. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to use any